Welcome back to Managing Culture. We are aware of the marks. We are aware that we've gone through this class outline talking about the intro, the idea of culture, the idea of fake news and managing information online with social media, the idea of interacting with multicultural teams, the art of war, the art of business, working with China internationally, negotiating. Then everybody was supposed to present their research project that they have finished the presentation. Now you should be able to fairly easily turn it into a paper following the instructions that are given here and the class requirements. If I just poke on this, it should be easy to show you. We click on that. We see these class requirements. We can go through a bunch of these details that we talked about. And this shows several different details about how to, if I just zoom in, how a paper is supposed to be made, what you should have for the contents in your paper. So when you're writing your paper, the typical social science research paper has these components in it, what you should what you should reference. And in addition to referencing the most reliable information, it also talks about the newest information, the things that are not delayed with fact checking and things like CNN, BBC, or blogs. Then we talked about how exactly you can make your paper. This presentation is pretty important. If you find a good professional article online that's very reliable, like a Scopus or Web of Science article, and you love that, this one is created about marketing in Europe, you can modify it like these students did, modify it so it's just focused on Korea and more specifically focused on a company they want to work with. These students actually got an internship after they presented this to the company, and then they went on from that internship to continue working with that company. So it's pretty important to understand that. Every student in our class is supposed to already have a big folder of many reliable information and even Facebook quotes or Instagram or TikTok videos. As long as you have some very good reliable information, you can have a lot of other information that should be saved in your online Google folder shared with us. In week 7, you are supposed to share your PPT of that. Then you just convert that into a paper and you can interact with a company and use that, as we show here, to start interacting with companies to get a job. I've seen it happen many, many times before in the past where students graduate and don't get a job in the old style. So with this new style, they use the class activities to survey the company, start sharing this valuable information, show the company that you have specialized information, you appear to be a specialist, and then start giving your paper to the local company, and that increases your resume by presenting the company with the paper, and you can present your paper to a student newspaper or international newspaper. I'll help any students that are working on that do that. But some students that are very keen can go beyond that and work on a grant. Moon Tae-kyun, can you hear me okay today? Maybe Moon Tae-kyun can't hear me right now. What about Kim Chae-hyun? Can you hear me okay today? Going once, waiting for Kim Chae-hyun. Going twice, waiting for Kim Chae-hyun. Working on 5 times. I guess he's not in class. Kim Gyuri, can you hear me today? 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wow, 3 for 3. Park Jong-ik, Hopefully you can hear and respond. Can you hear me? No. 4 out of 4 not responding. Is there anybody, any students actually in class today? You, Uno, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Good, thank you. I'm going to quiz you. You can see this picture I'm showing on my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and so you know step one is just to do a classwork, and usually many classes make you write a paper. But instead of just writing a regular paper, you go on to step two, and you maybe interview people in the company, or you interview some alumni, and you can write your paper with these Scopus journal articles for a local company. That's step two. And then you can publish it, put it in your resume. That's step four. I would like you to tell me, what is step five? These money bags, what is that talking about?
My wage, I
Uh,
think.
um, so we explained what is step one, two, three, and four. Can you explain to the class what is the meaning of step five? What is step five? What should students know about step five?
Uh, Maybe learning about the compensation or something.
Something like that. How about this question? In this picture, there's this huge red line, the huge red arrow that is going from the back of the line where many people are waiting for a job, going to the front of the line, dealing with the employer. What does this big red arrow mean?
Uh,
These could be exam questions. And now that I know that many people are having challenges with this, they're probably going to be exam questions. So what would your exam answer be if I asked you to describe what what does this big red arrow mean?
mm,
Now we know what to talk about in the review sessions. No problem. Is there anybody in class that can help explain what does this big red arrow mean? Or what is step five of all of these wise work instructions? Can anybody in class help explain what is step five, or explain what is this big red arrow? Anybody? Kim, Yunso, can you hear me? I'd just like to hear from you a yes or no. If not, I guess your connection's not good, and maybe I'll get you to leave the group and come back and rejoin the group if your
Yes,
internet
sir,
connection's
I
wrong.
can hear you.
Okay. Would you like to try answering these questions, or would you like to pass?
Yes.
You would like to try answering one of these questions, or do you
Yeah.
want? Yes. Okay. Can you try to answer, what does this big red arrow mean? Or would you like to try answering, what is step five?
Mm,
You can take a guess. There's no wrong answer now. If you wait until the final exam, then it could be wrong. So you can you can bullshit me now and completely guess. That's okay in class. um, it's better to do it now than wait until the final exam.
sir, can I see the next slide?
Sure. So these are steps to be successful with classwork or wise work. Step 1 to do wise work. Step 2 means you do better wise work. It's more successful. Step 3, step 4, you have more success and you're not doing really any extra work. It's all the same work, just a different style of work. And step 5 is just a small change and you get more success. So what is step 5?
I guess step 5 is
Let me give you a hint. While you're thinking about that,
maybe if
I'll give you a hint. We were talking in week 1 and 2 about some of the world's companies. Like Apple is a company worth $2.1 trillion. Saudi Aramco and Microsoft is worth $1.88 trillion. Crazy, almost $2 trillion companies. These companies have so much money, some people hate them. And this talks about some CEOs have so much money. Sometimes these CEOs make 400 times more than a normal worker. Not the lowest paid worker, they make 400 times more than a regular average worker. So they're paid crazy millions of dollars. I think I heard Elon Musk is making something like $56 billion now. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And so what this talks about is like Tesla, Toyota, Hyundai, the Ford car company, they have this program where they give, if you tell them 100 words about our university, 100 words about your professor and who you work with, who is reliable, who is experienced, 100 words, talk about what is your project, what are you trying to research, 100 words, why should the world care, then you can ask for a lot of money and they will pay you a lot of money. And this talks about almost every global company, almost every huge multinational company in the world, from 3M to American Airlines, American Express, Citibank, Citi Foundation, to eBay, FedEx, the Ford company, Merrill Lynch, MetLife, Microsoft, almost every company in their marketing office, they have a small division called a foundation office, and the foundation office knows that some people hate them because they have so much money. So the foundation office gives money back to society. That's what we're talking about here. And this talks about the normal size of the money they give back is from $100,000 to $1 million. And so this is talking about our grant. This is talking about your regular paper. This is what every student has to do. But if you also do a grant application or a video, you can get bonus points. So we're back to, where were we here? This. What is this money bags? What is this number 5? What's it talking about? Anybody in class? Can you help explain this? Kim Yun-so is about to make a guess.
so, sir, you mean if work hard or study hard, salary is high? You mean?
That's a good guess. Yes, if you work hard work, some people say that's good. But what I teach is, unfortunately, life is not fair. If you work hard, there's no guarantee you will get lots of money. If you work hard, there's no guarantee you will be successful. People will like you, but it doesn't mean they're going to pay you more money or they're going to give you extra benefits. But different than hard work, if you work wisely, do the same work in a smarter way, like do your class paper, that's a regular work you have to do for many classes. But if you do a class paper for a company and then give your paper to your teacher, you're finished. But if you also do it for the company and give it to the company, maybe the company will be happy and give you a job. It's no extra work, but you could get a job. And if you do your paper well, you could publish your paper. And if you publish your paper, that could make your resume look better and you get more success. It's no extra work, but you get a lot more success from wise work. But number 5 is different. What about Kwan Junha?
Yeah.
How are you today?
I'm tired.
You're tired. It's only noon. Have you been partying all night, drinking too much tequila? Can you guess? Give me a crazy guess. Pretend you're drunk. Pretend you've had too much soju and tell me your guess. What is step 5 talking about? What is the importance of a grant? What is a grant for a student?
Maybe company wants my special paper. They buy my paper. And
Okay, maybe yes. Yes, that's kind of close. If you write a paper that the big companies are interested in, yes, so what? Why? What's important if that's right? So far, you're correct. But you're speaking the Korean culture. Today, we're talking about Korean culture. And in Korean culture, usually Koreans use one word or one or two words, and every Korean person understands. So in my class, I'm using many words. You might find it confusing, but it's practice because internationally, you need to use many words to describe your idea. So try to use more words. If you make your paper that a local company likes, you can get a job. Great. And you can publish it and you can put it in your resume. Great. And you could make your paper for a big multinational company. Great.
We
You can share your screen now.
okay.
Yep.
Can you see it clearly? Okay.
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Today I'm going to talk about international workplace and the things that I might need when I start my own international business. The question for my PPT is, what should I need when I am going to start a foreign business and labor management, international labor management, and the business is that I'm going to start a foreign business of purchasing foreign item and shipping these foreign items and in logistics. Have you ever heard of the term 해외직구? 해외직구, which is about buying foreign items and have them
Yes, I have.
okay, good. So I have plenty of experience of this kind of 해외직구. So this is why I'm trying to have my own imaginary international business. So my business has many branches in international countries, about 20 different countries abroad. And my company, my imaginary company focus on the problem solving of international culture, conflicts and language problems and uh, other shipping and logistic and item related problems. And the qualification of the employees that I'm going to employ is uh, kind of a worker who is versatile and who is much experience in working in other cultures, and so having an experience of solving problems caused by cultural conflict. So when I'm going to hire an employee, the applicants requires uh, who are proficient at language that they are going to be dispatched and they need to pass through a test which is about solving international problem related to work. And our company necessitate employees with particular wait a minute uh, particular expertise, but also with versatile problem solving capacity, um, usually caused by misunderstanding with different cultures. And on-site experience is more important than applicant's academic level for me. For the dispatchment and the education, each applicant will be dispatched at the countries that they are familiar with, and also they will go through education of language skills, cultural backgrounds of the country, and the interpersonal teamwork with the native employees of the country. And education related uh, to task work will be proceeded after the mentioned education. And um, when the applicants do this kind of task work with international native employees successfully, they will be finally dispatched and start their own work in the Oregon branch of our company. The company benefits of the worker and worker satisfaction. The annual salary will cost about uh, 38,000 US dollar per year, and it will be given and per year will be given, and bonus about $350 per every successful team project and problem solving issues. And special company card will be given for education and self improvement with about worth about 4,000 US dollars, which is renewed every year. And working time in the branch are equally from the 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Regardless of the country that they belong to, accordance with the global working condition. And additional salary should be given and will be given for unavoidable workflows when they have to work overtime for team projects or um, much overwork. And company-owned apartment will be provided with the employee's car for commute and living. So these are the company benefits and welfare system of our company. When employers return to the home, employers will be basically given the 2 chances to visit their home country, which each of the visit they can use 10 days. And they are given a chance to choose between $4,000 bonus and another chance to visit their own home country when a major annual project becomes successful, and the particular employees are regarded to have contributed considerably to the success of the project. And the employees will permanently return to their home country after 4 years of working abroad and will be dispatched at the local domestic branch or at the headquarters of the company, depending on their performance. And also, they will be given a company owned apartment and about 100,000 and 6,800 US dollar of retirement payment after the retirement. So these are the company benefits, and after retirement and when the employees have to go to their home countries and visit their families. So these are the reference that I kind of help refer to when and applies to these kind of series or knowledge that I collected in these kind of papers. So thank you for listening, and if you have any question, you can ask.
I have a question.
Yes.
If you want your grades, you should get your grades from your classmates. Try to get your evaluation, at least partial evaluation, from your classmates.
I have a question.
Perfect. Awesome. I love you guys.
I heard that you go to work at 9 a.m. and get up work at 6 a.m. 6 p.m. This slide.
Myself?
No.
The company, for my company that that I hope I can have one day. The working hours is from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
So how about using the free commuting system that many companies are introducing these days to satisfy employees?
Okay. Our company also has kind of remote working conditions where in case of the COVID situation, where the workers can work at their homes and um and have their works done in home and send it electronically. And yeah.
Okay, that's good answer to me.
Thank you.
Can you tell me
Huh?
what is your company's vision?
Vision?
Yeah.
Our company vision is to have an open and diverse mind to other culture zones and respect the diversity of cultures in the global society, and maybe our company's direction is kind of a mediator to solve these kind of cultural misunderstanding or cultural conflict that is caused by different uh, culture clashes. Or so the requirements of the employees, as I might have told you, is that they need to have understanding of diverse culture and experience of cultural conflict solving. Uh, so these are the company directions.
Thank you.
Good. Thanks, guys. I'm impressed. You guys are getting quite active. That's good.
Any more questions, or can I just leave?
Can you leave? Hopefully, you're not going to leave, but
No. Just turn off the screen and show only my camera.
yes. I want to make sure that everyone in class is aware of the chat that I sent out. We sent out a chat. I'm just going to go through that just a sec. Right now, we're this week, the May 25th week, we're focused mostly on the Korean cultural exports, and we're getting into cross-cultural moves. And UNO presented his presentation early. Great. Kim Jisoo, if you're here, if you want to present, you need to talk to me because I don't have the presentation link from you yet. Im Min Kyu, also, if you are here, you need to talk to me because I don't have your presentation. So I don't see that you are going, you have a presentation yet. Jung Yu Jung, Jung So Young, Kim So Hung, all of you, you have signed up to make a presentation, and Son Jimin, because you have not been responding to the teaching team and showing a link to a presentation, it looks like you don't have a presentation to give. However, if you talk to me now, maybe we can make some changes. Are any of you here and interested in getting those 20 marks? Because presenting this is worth 20 marks. If you don't, you will miss 20 marks from class. Is that clear? Son
Professor,
Jimin, Kim
I don't
So-hyung?
have
Yes.
presentation yet, but I make presentation at this Friday. I'm ready before this Friday.
And you need to reserve your presentation details with us. First of all, I don't know who is speaking. So
Yes.
who is speaking?
In Minkyu.
Im Min Kyu?
Yes.
No, you can't give a presentation because you haven't shown us any of your details yet. You have to give your presentation folder link to the teaching team so we can review it and make sure it's okay in
Okay.
advance before class. We are out of time from the class, so you don't have as many options. It gives you benefit if you go early. If you wait until you are the last one presenting, it will be harder. Im Min Kyu, just a second, I can't see you. Let me try. Im Min Kyu, good, yes, yeah, I see your video is on. You have Hua's contacts, right? You have her email and my email and Facebook details. You should have no reason why you can't. You understand how to make a Google Drive folder link?
Yes.
You understand how to do that?
Yes.
Okay. You understand what we're looking for? You need to give a link like this or a link like this in
Okay.
order to present, and we need to check it in advance. We will schedule it. Other than that, the rest of the group, all of you, it looks like you're going to miss 20 marks.
Professor,
Hua, can you send a chat to all of these people saying, reminding them that if they don't give their link, they're missing 20 marks. With that said, now I'm going to go back, and the idea of I'm sharing my screen. UNO, your research references, they're good, but I don't know if you're going to hand in the final paper or the final exam, but let me just show you, this is your reference file, correct? And this is the very first PPT that we have had in class. And this is the first one I was showing what were the student requirements. And I was showing this file that talks about how to make an in-text reference and how to make a final reference. So yours is nice, it's good, but you have missed one thing. Inside here, you need to list your journal name, the title of your journal. You don't have a title of your journal almost anywhere here. Do you have the title of the journal or the title of the company that is writing this? I see that you have Scopus, but Scopus is here. This is just it's like a website like Google. So you've used a website to find information, you've used a library to find information, you've used Google to find information. Scopus is the same thing, but you haven't said what is the name of the journal. So all of these references, they look good, but they're wrong. Do you understand what I'm telling you?
Yes.
Okay, so I've tried to click on some of these, and I've gone through, and we're supposed to have some type of information from the library, and so far I can't find your information. I should be able to find it if I copy this and copy the name of the story, but it will be a lot easier if you tell me the name of the journal or the name of the company that wrote this. Scopus didn't write it. Scopus is just like a Google or a library website. It's open to everything. So hopefully you can show a little bit of differences for that. Next, this is an example. If everyone that is going to be kicked out of the class, Hua, have you sent the note to all students in class that are not, I've sent a note to everyone. Have you sent another note, Hua, to all of the students that don't have the video on?
To the student, oh, okay, I'll do that. Sorry.
Okay, and then as soon as you do that, please start closing out their accounts. So we are focused on the other people for the final exam. Hopefully the other people, when they see that their website gets turned off, they might become a little more active with class. Everybody else that wants to make a paper, and any of you, even if you want to do the exam, you don't have to do the paper for my class. That's okay. But I highly encourage you, do the paper anyway. Every one of you, you've already done the research, you've already made the midterm research term paper report that should help a company. So just turn it into some sort of paper and you can give it to the company, and that interaction with the company by sharing those details that we're talking about. Where is it here? Yes, by, you can see my slide again, by sharing all of these Scopus articles you have. Each one of these are like $50. By giving this information to a company, they should love you. They should think that you're a specialist, even if you didn't read these, even if you don't know what these are talking about. Just having these that are talking about something the company is doing, then the company should love you, because the company has to pay $50 for each one of these stories. So they should like you, and you already have the PPT. You can give your PPT to the company. If you write some sort of English paper, it makes it look like you're more of a specialist. So you don't have to do it for my class. Everyone that's not going to be using the video will have to do it. But you guys that are just using the video, I encourage you to do it anyway, because it will help you get through. And by using that report and showing it to the company, you can just walk up to the company and ask to survey them about anything about your project, and then show them your results, show them what your research is, and they should love you, and they will skip all these other guys waiting in line for a job. They're going to love you, and they'll offer you the internship, or they'll offer you the job. So you can use your class paper to get a job. That's one thing. The other thing that we're talking about with Grant 5, if you show these big trillion-dollar or multinational companies what you're working on, and if it is helping the world do something better, then these million-dollar companies, trillion-dollar companies may pay you a lot of money to develop your project. That's called a grant. Most research students in North America and many research students in Europe, they survive only by doing this, just by getting grants. You guys can too. It's very new in Korea. It's very new in Asia, but this is how North America and Europe basically work. It will become more popular soon. And again, it will help you get your dream goals. Everybody is wondering about how to get your goals. The biggest question is, how can you meet people to get you closer to your goals? Who do you know that can connect you to your goals by getting this research that you have, by getting this type of research and just sharing this with those powerful people? Those people can be impressed and then introduce you to other people that may give you internships or jobs and get you higher up on your ladder. Make sure you're aware of those. So any questions about that before we move on and we talk about Korean cultural exports? Any questions? Really? Wow. I just showed you guys exam questions, and I think none of you actually read those exam questions, and you guys don't want to see those exam questions again? Seriously? I just showed you 4 exam questions, and I talked to you about how you can get many more exam questions. Kwan Junha, would you like to see the exam questions again? Or do you want me to start teaching about Korean cultural exports?
Again.
Again, okay, I'll just teach about the Korean cultural exports again. Okay, no problem. If you change your mind, please talk more. So with Korean cultural exports, I'm going to be talking to you guys today about a few different things. And I'm going to be talking to you about what is the culture, what is cultural exports, the overview of these details, and then we're going to get into the idea of exporting and how it changes your economy. So the idea of definition of cultural export. The definition, can you read this? How about Jung Woo-won? Can you read this slide, please? I didn't really hear you. I heard you say final, but I didn't hear the rest. Maybe
I
my...
want to know about final exam.
Can you hear me better now? Is this louder? One thing I was going to talk about, the very next slide is kind of funny because I think half of the class that just got kicked out of class and almost all of you, I think, are really interested in this slide. So, Kim Sung-hoon, can you start reading this slide?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Culture of the
Can you-
Republic of Korea. Korea's closest relation is to El Salvador.
Do you know what that means? That means Korea's twin. Korea, the country of Korea's twin country is El Salvador. I used to live there. I left after they shot at me too much. Maybe the students in our class are going to start shooting at me because I kicked them out of class today. Maybe the same thing's going to happen. Seriously, I lived in El Salvador in 1992 to 1993 and came to Korea in 1995 because they were shooting at me too much. So, Hofstede's dimensions. You guys all should know about Hofstede. There's probably going to be some questions on the exam about Hofstede. We know Hofstede has, oops, what happened here? Has this website, country comparisons with Hofstede's insights. If we compare Denmark, El Salvador, South Korea, United States, we have this information. Do you guys know, Kim Jisoo, do you know where El Salvador is?
No.
No? Good. Thank you for telling me no. I love that honesty. No, I have no clue and I don't care about El Salvador. It's a beautiful country. It's an amazing country. The culture is almost identical to Korea. Korea is over here. Everybody knows where it is. Right underneath Mexico, the red dot, that is the capital city, San Salvador, El Salvador. I lived there for about 2 years. So this is a country that, according to Gert Hofstede, a very, very famous researcher, the culture here is identical to your culture. And so let's talk a little bit more about that. Nope, that's yours. Nope, we've already gone through this. Yes, now we're here. Who has been quiet so far? Jung Woo Won, you just finished talking. Jung Sungjin, I haven't heard from you. Can you start reading this Korea's highest?
Korea's highest is uncertainty avoidance at 85. Low level of tolerance for uncertainty, strict rules, laws, policies, and regulations are adopted and implemented. Control equal control everything, equal eliminate or avoid unexpected. Korea does not readily accept change and is very risk averse.
Okay, so I am going to announce to the class, many students in Korea, especially traditional thinking students, they find me crazy. They find me chaotic. Why? Because when, looks like when I teach, I provide all information. Every one of you knows this, right? What is this link right here? What's this link that I'm turning sexy pink? What is this link? John Hayden.
Yes.
What does this pink link do? What is this? You should be aware of this link.
Class information.
Right. What can you find there?
Class material.
And?
Lecture. This lecture.
All of the lectures are here, yes. So lecture 1 information here, lecture 2, lecture 3, lecture 4. Do you think we have followed this pretty closely?
Yeah, I think.
Okay. Except we had national holidays and we have to have some makeup classes. That's going to be changed a little bit. But other than that, everything has been here. Where is it? All information about the class is also linked in here. The where is it here? All information about the class. If you want all information about the class, it's linked in here. So I give you everything. And so why are we talking about this? Because in Korea, Korean professors control everything. And they just tell you, this is the lecture, this is what you have to learn, finished. With me, I give you all of the textbook, all of the folder, all of the materials, and it's too much information for most Koreans. You might find it chaotic. You might find it crazy. It's not the regular Korean style. I'm doing this on purpose because it's new to you. I'm trying to help you get familiar with the American style, Western style, European style. Do you agree, John Hayden, that the Korean way of teaching ABC, study only ABC, the question is going to be ABC. That is what you're familiar with, correct?
Yeah.
And I don't teach that way, so you find it a little bit chaotic, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and now you understand why, right? Because I'm teaching you managing culture. That's the name of the class. I'm trying to get you familiar with the American style, the Western style, European style. Does that make sense to you? The idea of controlling everything is different outside of Korea.
Yeah.
Now do you understand a little bit more about why our class might seem chaotic to you, but it's actually designed this way so that you get more familiar working outside this way.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Can you continue reading from Korea is collectivist?
Korea is collectivist, long-term commitment to group, family, extended family. Loyalty is paramount and overrides most other rules and regulation. Korea fosters relationships where everyone takes responsibility for members of group.
Good. So what it's talking about is Korea works in a group. And so what I want you to see is Denmark and United States, those are typical Western countries, typical European countries, typical North American countries. But if you see here, they are very high with individualism. Korea and El Salvador are at 18, almost zero, very, very group oriented. So if we go back to this, we were talking about this very first slide I showed you guys, and if I explain a little bit more about it, I was talking about use your alumni. Do you understand what it means to leverage your alumni?
Me?
John Hayden? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Almost,
So
I think. Yeah.
can you give me one sentence? Guess what this means. So we're talking about students. You can just work hard and be tortured, or you can work wisely and use the alumni. Can you finish that sentence? Just tell me one sentence. What does that mean? It's related to Hofstede and Korea's culture evaluation. Again, I'm getting old here. We're in Bali country. Hofstede doesn't know Korea's Bali country. I do. You're supposed to be Korean. 한국 사람 아니야? Bali.
Contact with various countries company.
Yes. So thousands of students went to Kaemyeong before, and many students probably work for companies you like. So contact those students that went to Kaemyeong and graduated from Kaemyeong before, and then talk to them, and they have to help you because they're part of the same group, right?
Yeah.
That whole idea of working with the group. You Korean people and El Salvadoran people, they work very, very strongly with group people. So our class is almost finished. We only have about 1 minute left. I could go through and I could explain all of this, but we can talk a little bit more about this later. This video talks about the overview of Korean. Let me just zoom in on this a little bit more. The overview of Korean exports. We talked about Parasite, Winter Sonata. I don't know this one, Shinhwa. Do you guys know this? Is this a movie or is this a K-pop drama or do you guys know Shinhwa, State of the Art?
K-pop idol and
Shinhwa is the K-pop idol. Okay. Boa, I know Boa, yes. But what I do know is this. We are talking about Korea and how it's growing, how it's developing, and how it's exporting the culture. This is something I love. I have been to Korea. I came here in 1995. I have seen it change. I've been here before you were born, but it's almost always followed Hofstede. It's almost always followed this. Oops. It's almost always been afraid of trying something new. It always is quiet when a teacher asks a question. That has been the same since 1995. But one thing that's changing, this is a very new movie showing Korea is trying new things. Like the movie Parasite. You guys know the movie Parasite? Seriously? Nobody knows the movie Parasite?
I know.
Oh, okay. Do you agree that is Korean culture? It's talking about some people are rich, some people are poor, and poor people working for rich people, tutoring, going to a hagwon, tutoring them. That's normal Korean life, right? It's nothing different about Korean life, right? Do you agree, Kim Jisoo?
Yeah.
It's traditional Korean life. But this movie, this is called Space Sweepers. Song Lee-ho, the idea of spaceship victory. It's talking about how misfit Korean people, it's a Korean show that just came out February 5th, 2021 in Netflix. It's an awesome movie, but it's just like Star Wars. It's just like, what's the other one? Star Wars or, damn, I'm getting old. My memory is going. There's other famous space movies. What are some famous space movies? Come on, help me out here. This is an old guy. My memory's dying. You guys are young. You have good memories. Star Wars is one movie about space. What's another famous movie about space?
Interstellar.
Alien.
Aliens, okay, something like that. So this movie is about these Korean people and their acting. What it's showing here is in the year 2092, basically this guy here, a bad Elon Musk, he is super rich and he's created a new planet, new life on a different planet, exactly what Elon Musk is trying to do. And the earth is so polluted, people can't stay in earth. So people are starting to try to move to his new planet. But space is full of dangerous floating garbage, like discarded satellites and deserted spaceships. The crew of this new spaceship, this crew Victory, they travel through space looking for garbage, for recycling to make money. And they give this garbage to this new guy that has a recycling center in Mars. And it turns out awesome. These characters here, if we look through them, you see these three characters. Tiger is fixing this guy here. He's a mechanic. He's one of the most famous guys in the movie, but he's basically just a mechanic and he's a drug dealer. When was the last time, Kim Song-hoon, when was the last time you know a famous person in Korea that was a drug dealer? It almost never happens, right? Korea does not promote bad drug dealers. But this movie is promoting him as one of the main characters. And then Bubs is a robot soldier. This guy here, he's a robot, and he's a robot that's transgender robot. When was the last time you hear people in Korea talking about wanting to be transgender, wanting to get boobs in movies? It almost never happens. So this main character robot wants to change from being a robot to a transgender and be a girl with boobs and stuff like that. And then there's Captain Jang, who used to be a genius and invented many things.
We have
And
class coming at 1:15, so
class is going to finish. So yes, we're talking about this. I just wanted to share with you, where is it here? The last questions. Here it is. So these questions that we went through, examples of these are possible exam questions. We reviewed in the class requirements what are good references. You should understand what are the most reliable sources and be able to link them. The answer here is number A. B is almost the same, but it's a little bit different. C is a more different, D is more different, E is more different. It's messed up. So make sure you understand what is reliable information. Question number 2 is the same type of thing with proper referencing with Scopus material. Explain the connection between reliable and timeliness. You must understand that reliable things like Scopus or Web of Science is very good, but it could be old. So you must also be able to respect the news stories, and you must respect blogs and social media, because that's new and immediate. That's a second question for the exam. Another question for the exam is, we talked about culture. You must understand and explain what is culture and the following: self-reference criterion, ethnocentrism, and parochialism. Answer is right here. And so if we go through that, where is it here? I could show you. It's coming up here. So the answer to what is here is the answer here. What is SRC? What is ethnocentrism? What is parochialism? Here is the answer here. Another question here is, with the fake news, what's the purpose of fake news? And the answer is, increasingly fake stories are created to attract an audience and advertising revenue, just like TikTok, things like that. So here are 4 questions. All of you, if you want to do the final exam, please make a Word document, a Google document, and send it to the teaching team for us to be editors, and get ready to have a video and microphone for the exam. And you can start making questions and answers like this and send that to us in your Google Drive. And those questions we will talk about next class. Does that make sense, Mr. Kwan?
Yes.
Mr. Jung, do you understand? If you make a question from week 3 or week 5 or week 9 or week 11, 12, 13, if you make a question from any of the weekly material that might be good for the exam, you can send that to us and we might use that for the exam.